just said this morning, I heard this LeBron quote. Hey, LeBron,
I'm not your friend. I'm a LeBron's friend. That's cool. All right, that's cool.
No, you're my friend.
Okay, I'll take it.
But you and I hang out, but you go to LeBron's house. Yeah, I don't. So that's big.
Is it?
Yeah, kind of. Where are you going today? Oh, I'm going to LeBron James' house. I've never met anybody but you that says that.
What?
A lot of people go to my house. John Goulet's been to my house. You go to LeBron's house.
I've never got invited to your house. So
well, I don't invite that many people. He's been once.
So I'm not
don't
special enough
offended.
to come to your house. Okay, I got it. Okay, I take that.
I'm kind of a loner. So I was saying this earlier. I said when he went to Miami, you got to win rings, dude. We know you're great. You got to win rings. Then he goes back to Cleveland, and it almost felt like I owe the city one. All right. And then he comes out to L.A., and I'm like, he seems happy. Didn't even call a press conference. Is it possible this is the least pressure?
But mind you, I disagree with what you just said.
All
because when he went to Miami, he didn't have to win championships. Miami just wanted good basketball. Like, there's certain cities that just want great basketball. They don't have championship aspirations every year. Miami wasn't Miami wasn't one of them at that point in time. Yes, you have great talent next to you and you're coming. He gave those expectations, not one, not two. He brought that with him. But were they screaming for championships? They just wanted great basketball. And then when he went back to Cleveland, Cleveland just wanted him back. Like, that's not a city that demands a championship at all points in time. He put that championship on them. I want to bring it to you. I want this to be remembered for this city. I grew up close to here. This is what I want for Cleveland. Now, when you go to L.A., it's already understood. Sometimes you don't have to state things that are already understood. The Lakers, the Celtics, the Spurs, they play for championships. They don't play for good basketball. They don't play for entertainment purposes. They play for championships. They build for championships. So that's why I don't think it's necessary for him to even start speaking about championships, because it's already understood when you put that Laker jersey on. The fans expect that from you on a nightly basis, and that is what you're going to be measured by in your eyes.
If he would have left Miami with no titles, though, people would have said, I don't even want to hear Jordan. Please, can't close with Bosh. If he doesn't win here, but they're good, you'll be like...
I don't see, that's what I'm saying. The fans are the ones that would have...
Yes.
The world would have said that to him, but the Miami fans would have been gracious to have him.
You think so?
I don't think they would have been. If he didn't win a championship, like even Alonzo Mourning and all the great Miami Heat players, even though they may have not brought a championship during their heydays, they weren't vilified. They weren't cut up in the media because they didn't have a championship. Alonzo got one later, but
but LeBron, isn't he different?
He is different, but I don't think the Miami Heat fans would have been gracious. They're great fans and they love great basketball. But the Laker fans, if he doesn't bring a championship, that's what they're going to measure him by. And that's just what you get when you sign up for this Laker franchise.
You think he feels pressure here?
I don't think he feels pressure. I think he knows what he signed up for.
He knows what
he's happy, and I think he knows what he signed. He as he strives for greatness, he wants to be a part of a situation that holds him accountable instead of him holding himself accountable. Like this Lakers franchise is going to hold him accountable. They're going to demand more out of him, and that makes him better ultimately.
And he's okay with that.
I think he is.
When you hang out with him, I know he's a busy guy and you got your stuff you're doing, but the times that you have lunch, talk, good space for him?
He seems extremely happy right now. Like, just in a good place where him and his family are in. It just seems like it's all working for him. And as a friend, you're happy for a person who's happy with their own personal life. He's happy in being a Laker right now. He's happy with being under his kids and his kids being happy where they're playing at, and his family seems like they're having a blast right now.
What did you make last week of Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant's one of those guys, I call it rabbit ears. Like, LeBron doesn't really respond to people. Tom Brady doesn't respond to fans. Peyton Manning didn't respond to fans. Brett Favre didn't respond to fans. Derek Jeter didn't respond to fans. Well, most guys don't, especially when you're a legend. You know, the third-string running back for Tennessee may respond to fans if he's getting called out, but the legends don't, except Kevin Durant. Random people, Twitter burner accounts. As a pro athlete, how do you see that?
I think we look at his superhuman ability on the court, and we do not understand that he is a human who is very sensitive, but also he's in the social media world that we're in right now. Me and you we're not like him because we have families. So they keep our attention on a daily basis. But you got a guy who's single, no kids. and he's in social media. And when you're not doing things, that's just what we do now. If we're not busy with our families and things, we're in our phones and social media and looking at what the world is telling us, because most people get their news from social media. So, like, he's just engulfed in this culture of social media, and he's tired of seeing random people with random opinions talk about him. So he's shooting back. And I respect him for saying something that's on his chest. He doesn't have to keep holding it in. People have too many opinions, and they may not be professionals at this craft, but they have an opinion in regard to what he does. And sometimes he has enough and he shoots back.
You know, people really, and they have no problem saying this, multiple people who have covered him say, you know, listen, man, he ain't going to end up in Oakland. Like, he's a wanderer. He wants to do things. And, you know, my theory's always been, once you get the titles and once you get the fortune, then it's your life. Mm-hmm. And you have the pressure just escapes. I mean, LeBron, like, didn't choose the best roster in the league. It was LeBron goes where LeBron wants to go. Do you think Durant stays in San Francisco for another 8 years? I don't.
I think Steph's a lifer.
Steph's a lifer. I totally agree.
I think Draymond might be a lifer. I think those two may be lifers in Golden State. I don't know if Clay is, and I don't know if I don't think KD is. I think New York is going to be the new hotspot next year.
Oh, really?
Because they have a great coach. The organization is moving in the right direction. I think their culture, that city, and what it could be is what's going. And you have Porzingis there. Like, you have the kid Knox.
Yeah,
like,
that kid's good.
You have a flexible roster. I think what brought LeBron to LA was ultimately the city, the lifestyle, and the flexibility of the roster of what it could be rather than what it is. A lot of rosters are stuck in what they are right now, and they don't have that much flexibility. But you look at a New York Knicks roster and the cap space that they could have, and you could play with who you want to play with. Like, if he looks at a landscape next year and he's like, okay, Kyrie's there, Porzingis could be there, the kid Knox is good, and we could do it our own way. And I could be in New York City, and I could live the way I want to. I've already dominated here. I already have these businesses set up in Silicon Valley. They'll follow me to New York. We could set something else differently. I think that's going to be the new hotspot. I think guys are going to be looking at that very seriously next year.
Well, Kevin Knox has looked sensational so far. I know it's young, early, but if you have Porzingis and he's healthy, you have a star, and then you have a young star.
He has some markers that you can't deny.
Yeah,
like
no. And by the way, James Dolan may sell. It's not a terrible.
And listen, and that may change the whole landscape of basketball at that point in time.
I agree with that. By the way, are you one of these crazy people that are going to tell me Jayson Tatum's going to score 30? Jayson Tatum's going to be this? Timeout. Brad Stevens made Isaiah Thomas an MVP candidate. He wouldn't have played if Gordon Hayward didn't get hurt. I mean, he'd have played, but he'd come off the bench. Can't we pump the brakes a little on Jayson Tatum's going to be the next superstar?
No.
Do you think really?
I thought he was the best player in that draft. It would be dangerous if he was a Sixer. Like, he has some. He has some markers that you just can't deny. His one-on-one ability. He can space the floor. He's 6'9". He defends it at a great level, and he wants to get better. He seeked Kobe out to get better. He's on a trajectory to be great.
Like, great what great?
Whatever he wants to be. Like, he's a child right now, basically. He's 19, 20 years old? So we've just scratched the surface with his talent.
So if he's that great, Boston can't keep all these guys.
Right. They have a problem.
I was going to say.
Either pay through the roof or find a way to keep what you want. But I think he's the one that you just don't move.
No, I mean, if he comes out and he's a 24-point-a-game guy like everybody's telling me right now, you don't need to pay Gordon Hayward a fortune. I'm sorry, you don't.
Right. I think he's a movable piece at that point.
A totally movable piece.
But he's an asset because he's at a price point and he has talent. So now you can move your rosters and get more picks and stuff in your wheelhouse where Boston can have some longevity in winning and trying to reach the championship level again. But that kid's going to be very, very good. And when I saw him and Kobe working out together, that was scary. Like, that's what gives you chills, because the kid, like, if he gives something, just part of the mentality and even in how he sees the game, if he keeps getting that part of it, the kid has some things that you just can't stop.
Good stuff. Dahntay Jones. Are you going to LeBron's house today?
No, not at all.
Well, last week.
I don't spend all my days at LeBron's house. I have 5 children. I have a family. Like, I got.
Yeah, but you know what?
I just saw him yesterday at his kid's game, which Bronny was amazing. That kid, that team is very good.
So you went and hung out with LeBron yesterday?
My son was playing in Las Vegas, and in his tournament, and I just stopped over. I saw some of my friends' kids play. I went to go see Kenyon's son play, and I went to go see Bron's son play. And then my son had a game, and then we trucked on back.
Why don't you go to LeBron's today?
Because I got stuff to do.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.